F-35C aircraft. Sector 244. Assessment of the development and test enterprise of the Air Force Research Laboratory. Sector 245. Study on efficient use of Department of Defense test and evaluation organizations, facilities, and laboratories. Sector 246. Report on autonomy integration in major weapon systems. Sector 247. Reports and briefings on recommendations of the National Security Commission on Artificial Intelligence regarding the Department of Defense. Subtitle A. Authorization of Appropriations Sec. 201. Authorization of Appropriations. Funds are hereby authorized to be appropriated for fiscal year 2022 for the use of the Department of Defense for research, development, test, and evaluation, as specified in the funding table in Section 4201. Subtitle B. Program Requirements, Restrictions, and Limitations Sec. 211. Codification of National Defense Science and Technology Strategy. A. In General, Chapter 2 of Title 10, United States Code, as amended by Section 1081 of this Act, is further amended by inserting before Section 119, the following new section, Sector 118C. National Defense Science and Technology Strategy, A. In General. The Secretary of Defense shall develop a strategy, 1. To articulate the science and technology priorities, goals, and investments of the Department of Defense, 2. To make recommendations on the future of the defense research and engineering enterprise and its continued success in an era of strategic competition, and 3. To establish an integrated approach to the identification, prioritization, development, and fielding of emerging capabilities and technologies. B. Elements. The strategy required under subsection A shall 1. Inform the development of each national defense strategy under Section 113 G of this title and be aligned with government-wide strategic science and technology priorities, including the defense budget priorities of the Office of Science and Technology Policy of the President. 2. Link the priorities, goals, and investments in subsection A.1 with needed critical enablers to specific programs or broader portfolios, including A. personnel and workforce capabilities. B. Facilities for research and test infrastructure. C. Relationships with academia, the acquisition community, the operational community, the defense industry, and the commercial sector. And D. Funding, investments, personnel, facilities, and relationships with other departments and agencies of the federal government outside the Department of Defense, without which defense capabilities would be severely degraded. 3. Support the coordination of acquisition priorities, programs, and timelines of the department with the activities of the defense research and engineering enterprise. 4. Include recommendations for changes in authorities, regulations, policies, or any other relevant areas that would support the achievement of the goals set forth in the strategy. 5. Identify mechanisms that may be used to identify critical capabilities and technological applications required to address operational challenges outlined in the National Defense Strategy under Section 113(g) of this title. Six, identify processes to inform senior leaders and policymakers on the potential impacts of emerging technologies for the purpose of shaping the development of policies and regulations. 7. Support the efficient integration of capabilities and technologies to close near-term, mid-term, and long-term capability gaps. 8. Support the development of appropriate investments in research and technology development within the department, and appropriate partnerships with the defense industry and commercial industry. And 9. Identify mechanisms to provide information on defense technology priorities to industry to enable industry to invest deliberately in emerging technologies to build and broaden the capabilities of the industrial base. C. Coordination. The Secretary of Defense shall develop the strategy under subsection A, in coordination with relevant entities within the Office of the Secretary of Defense, the military departments, the research organizations of defense agencies and Department of Defense field activities, the intelligence community, defense and technology industry partners, research and development partners, other federal research agencies, allies and partners of the United States, and other appropriate organizations. D. Considerations. In developing the strategy under subsection A, the Secretary of Defense shall consider 1. The operational challenges identified in the National Defense Strategy and the technological threats and opportunities identified through the Global Technology Review and Assessment activities of the Department of Defense, the intelligence community, and other technology partners. 2. Current military requirements and emerging technologies in the defense and commercial sectors. 3. The capabilities of foreign near-peer and peer nations. 4. The need to support the development of a robust, trusted, and assured industrial base to manufacture and sustain the technologies and capabilities to meet defense requirements. And 5. Near-term, mid-term, and long-term technology and capability development goals. E. Reports. 1. Subsequent reports and updates. Not later than February the 1st of the year following each fiscal year in which the National Defense Strategy is submitted under Section 113(g) of this title, the Secretary of Defense shall submit to the Congressional Defense Committees a report that includes an updated version of the strategy under subsection A. Each update to such strategy shall be prepared for purposes of such report based on emerging requirements, technological developments in the United States, and technical intelligence derived from global technology reviews conducted by the Secretary of Defense. 2. Form of reports. The reports submitted under paragraph 1 may be submitted in a form determined appropriate by the Secretary of Defense, which may include classified, unclassified, and publicly releasable formats, as appropriate. F. Briefing. Not later than 90 days after the date on which the strategy under subsection A is completed, The Secretary of Defense shall provide to the Committees on Armed Services of the Senate and the House of Representatives a briefing on the implementation plan for the strategy. G. Designation.